Awesome.
Okay,
So, do you want to introduce yourself first?
sure. My name is Emanuele Dondoglio. I'm an Italian guy. I'm yeah, I'm an astronomer, as you may imagine.
As a bonus.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes,
perfect match, right? Italian
absolutely.
and
Yes.
astronomer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I'm currently based on Padua, both on
Right,
my personal life and my research life.
right,
I'm working at the INAF, which stands for Italian National Institute of Astrophysics, in
right,
the Padua, of course, Padua location. And currently, I'm doing a postdoc. So I'm in at the end, let's say, of my first postdoc. So I'm 2 years from my PhD degree, basically.
mhm,
And science-based, I study stars mainly.
right.
And I like stars, especially when they are concentrated in big and very dense clusters.
Yeah, right. That's a very nice introduction, right? So you've been here for so many years now. You've been in Padova since as far as I can remember, which is many years.
Yeah.
So yeah, how did your let's say graduation happened across years? So like you did your bachelor and master's and PhD and postdoc all together in Padova, or like you moved a little bit?
Yeah, I did everything in Padua, which is for us in the community kind of a peculiar situation because
Right. It's very
it's
particular.
more typical to move around
Move a lot. Right.
states and different cities. Uh, let's say for me, it just worked fine because I did the bachelor here in Padua. We have the
Right.
bachelor even in astronomy, so strictly astronomy.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, I say, before starting the university, I say, yeah, I want to try
Right.
to become an astronomer.
Right.
So in Italy, you don't have so many choices at the bachelor level.
Right.
To at least it was in back in my days, but I think it's still the same roughly. So you can go either in Padua or Bologna. I picked
Okay.
Padua, and then I kind of enjoyed that what I was studying and where I was living. So
Right.
yeah, I also want to do the master degree in astronomy.
Right.
And then, yeah, I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to get into a PhD position always in Padua. So,
Right.
yeah. And then again, another opportunity for a postdoc position here in Padua. But yeah,
You
it's
were
very
so
lucky
good that
that,
people never wanted to let you go.
yes.
This is the moral of the story, right?
Yeah, yeah, but
You're so good, yeah, like we're keeping him, and then like you
but
become a professor here in Padova.
yeah, it's very
It's a
it's very
very
likely
linear
that, yeah,
trajectory.
it's very likely that in my next years
Right.
I will move around different countries and continents. So yeah.
Oh, so that's the aim. Like you're ready to move out.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's about time. I love staying here, but
Right. Where are you originally from, though, in Italy?
I'm originally from the northwest in
Mhm.
Piedmont, kind
Oh,
of
okay.
the
Right.
biggest city close by is Turin. I'm not
Right.
really close to Turin, more
Right.
close to the mountains, but yeah,
True.
gives you an idea.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, so very interesting. I mean, I've been here for 7 years too, but then I changed jobs a lot. It's just that I've always been based here, but then like I moved a lot. Yeah, right. So I mean, this is the first story that we have on this channel generally. Now there's a person who started with astronomy in the same city, and then like they kept up with astronomy and they never moved too. So you're very particular case. Like I've never
Yeah, I
seen
know, I
something like
know.
that. So how did it come to you? So how did you become an astronomer, like slash astrophysicist? I don't know. I think like you more identify yourself as an astronomer, but
Yeah.
from the very beginning, you always it's a very weird thing that from early ages you decide to become an astronomer because it's a very uncertain type of profession. Like, did you have some conflict in your family that, okay, this is not gonna work for you, or have you decided that how your future will look like? Or like, and then like, where was the flare, the very first spark? Like, how were you attracted to this? Because this is a very specific discipline,
Hmm.
and it's not financially beneficial too, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
there should have been some type of conflict at the beginning because we usually have that.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. yeah, my path to where I am right now is actually less coherent that how it may look like from what I said
Right.
before. Yeah, of course, picking astronomy in the first place was kind of a weird choice
Right.
seen from my family and friends
Mhm.
because didn't do stuff in high school that were so much science related. Was kind of
Mhm.
more close to economy-ish, of course, at an high school level, so nothing too specific.
Right.
And then at the end of my high school years, I said, yeah, I mean, this stuff is fine, but I would like to try to do something that may be more interesting to me. And
Okay.
I have to be honest, I wasn't the kind of guy that, oh yeah, as soon as I was a child, I was into astronomy, beautiful. I wasn't that kind of kid. But
I mean,
I
honestly,
always,
that's not the story for so many people. I've just heard
okay,
that for
yeah,
like two times, three times. I have talked to so many people. Not many have that.
yeah. And so I wanted to do something very cool and interesting, and if you
Right.
want, also a bit challenging and difficult to me.
Mhm.
And astronomy was something that, yeah, would amazing to have a deeper look at astronomy.
Oh,
And so I enrolled in astronomy. I mean, I have to convince my parents first.
yeah.
But of course, nobody was even aware that it was possible to study astronomy, at least at a bachelor level.
Right.
So I had to do my research, try to understand how it works, explain to people, that, oh no, this is a serious thing. It's not, I'm not doing horoscopes or stuff.
Yeah, not astrology, astronomy.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, then I started. My first year as an astronomer in the bachelor was actually horrible
Okay.
because I was barely passing exams
Okay.
because it was a big change in what I was used to.
Right.
Uh, and the effort required was so much higher than what I was used to that it
Uh-huh.
was quite difficult.
Right.
But then I kept going, and by the year passing, I became. Of course, I started to pass exam to get better and better results,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I got my bachelor, which
Right.
I was. It was very long for me to believe that I actually got a degree in astronomy. So the bachelor one was the craziest one because oh my God, I was so impressed by
Yeah.
me actually getting a degree. Then of course the
But did
master
it
was
last like for
okay.
the standard years? Because it's like 4 years in Italy, right? 3 or 4 years. And then
Yes,
like, did it
3 years.
last longer for you or like no,
It
like
took
you
four
passed?
4 years to me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like the standard one is like 3 years, but you took an extra year.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
But you
So
passed.
yeah.
Like this is like very inspirational because if someone is not doing well, then you can see like, okay, yeah, maybe like
Yeah.
your bachelor is a struggle, but then you can like go high up and get a postdoc.
Yeah. If
And
you
a
look at
very
this,
successful one too.
yeah, if you look like at the statistics,
Right.
the people that had my performance in their first 1 or 2 years are the one
Right.
that quit before graduation. So
Oh,
I
Jesus,
just,
yeah. It's a common thing.
yeah, yeah, it's very common.
Oh,
In,
wow. I didn't know about that.
I think that
So you think persistence is important?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perseverance and persistence.
Because I think I may be mistaken, but I think that
Yeah.
roughly is what happened. That about half of the people which I started in my first year in the astronomy
Mhm.
bachelor actually never finished and maybe quit or changed the faculty. So yeah,
Oh, wow. What
yeah.
what's the percentage? If you wanna like, I mean,
I
how do you
think
feel the percentage was?
I think about almost 50%.
Oh my God. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Hmm. So it's a difficult discipline
Yeah,
in general.
especially in the bachelor because you had actually in the bachelor you had a limited amount of astronomy and astrophysics,
Right.
but you had a
Hmm.
lot of math, basic physics.
Right.
Probably these exams are the ones that made more victims, if I remember correctly.
Ah, okay, right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm a physics graduate as well. And I would say in the cycle that we entered university, we were kind of also unlucky because they had me on board, and I was always asking for very difficult professors to present the
Oh,
courses. And I was not also scoring high myself, but I love to always take up challenges, like to be taught by the best for
yes.
best subjects. So I was like very idealistic at the time, and I didn't want to have
Mhm.
like high scores. I just wanted to like have very good quality education. So
Oh,
this decision basically cost a lot of people a lot of things, including myself. So I had a low
yeah.
GPA, but then some
Oh,
people couldn't just pass some stuff like classical mechanics because that was very difficult and it was presented by a very difficult professor who had very high expectations. So he didn't just allow anyone to pass, and he made like half of the class to fail. And then
yeah.
those half, they didn't graduate with us. So they didn't finish by the end of the 4 years. That's the standard in Tehran, at least.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, this is like something to keep an eye out for. Yeah, right. That is, so, like, you think the most challenging path was math and physics because that was difficult for many young students.
Yeah, because the exam were designed to be difficult. Where
Oh, okay,
it
right.
was, something like, okay, you got here, but this is not gonna be easy. So
Okay.
it was just also to make understand to students. That's why my personal belief is not something that is well established. To make
Right.
every students to understand, okay, yeah, we are doing astronomy, very cool, but is not. Yeah, you have to put a lot of effort in this stuff. So
So
you
you
have to
think
know.
entering this discipline in Italy is like much easier than actually passing for it? So they
Depends because
filter out people. They take in so many in, but then they're going to
yeah,
be filtered in the process.
at least it was when I started. Then
Okay.
I know that years later they made like stricter filters. I think they had like a limited number of a maximum number of
Mhm.
people to get
Okay.
inside. So maybe things are changed now.
Mhm.
I'm not updated. I know
Okay.
they did it a few years ago. I don't know if it's still like this
Mhm.
because it was not a lot, but a good amount of years ago. So,
Okay, great.
but when I started was like this. I think that a lot of people saw astronomy as a fascinating option.
All
Oh yeah,
right.
that's cool, but maybe not a lot realized that yeah, it's still hard science. That's what
All
we're
right.
doing. So yeah.
So let's go back to you. I have two questions for you. So family-wise, did you have anyone who was very science-oriented and that encouraged you to move towards astronomy? Or was there anyone in your circle who encouraged you to enter this field? Or was there a mentor or teacher, something, a book?
Well,
What it was? Because it's a very difficult choice, I think, at the beginning.
yeah.
I mean, physics, I do understand it because there are like so many. Physics is associated with a lot of magic, right? Like you go for like
Yeah.
general relativity, special relativity, quantum theory, quantum physics, group theory, particle physics. So
Mhm.
that's something that's very exciting, I suppose,
Yeah.
for many people. But astronomy is somewhere in between. It's not as difficult, and then at the same time, it's something very abstract and it's like
Mhm.
very limited. So when you go for physics, I believe you can learn plenty of subjects, while astronomy is only one subject and it's not as
Yeah.
difficult as physics or like pure math as well.
Mhm.
So it's a very specific choice, especially when you're making this at very early stages of your life when things are very uncertain, but you still have a lot of freedom to choose for yourself.
Yeah. 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 So to answer the first point, the brief answer is no. Like
No, okay.
I didn't have nobody in my family or friends
Mm.
or people that I know that were into science.
Mhm.
Maybe that's also a motivation that led me to pick this choice. Now that I'm thinking about.
All right.
Um, and so yeah, I agree. It's a very niche kind of field of study.
Right.
So uh, yeah, it's not super common to get inside, get to get in this stuff. And okay, I'm trying to recall what I had in mind when I was 18. Yeah, I always saw this thing, the astronomy thing, as something that I didn't know or didn't know so much about. But still, like this big thing, I
Right.
grew up far away from cities, so I was used to see a lot of stars in the sky. So
So you
looking
have
this,
that memory.
yeah,
You misled us. You're like you didn't have this memory of the
yeah,
sky, so
but
like it all started from
because I'm
there.
still seeing that when I go back to my
Right.
hometown. So
Okay, yeah, right. Okay,
so
fine.
always seeing this stuff and say, oh, that sounds really something that is worth to know something about. And I never had the opportunity uh,
Mhm.
or the time or the willing to dedicate myself in my up when I was like 18 before my university.
Mhm.
And I say, yeah, this could be a good opportunity to try to see if I'm actually interested in this field and it's something that could become my life. I was very uncertain. It just looked like me, like this very big and incredible thing, which I didn't know anything about it, which fascinated me. So I said, yeah, now it's time to give it a shot. If I don't know anything about what I'm doing, what will be my next years, let's try it. And work out pretty well, I have to say.
This is the second time that I'm hearing this story, kind of.
Really?
Like, yeah, like, I mean, yeah, like, I just like, this could become my life.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's very weird to me because I diligently tried to quit astronomy many times. I tried to, like, get out of this, and then, like, there are some people who just say that, yeah, like, since I remember, this was a natural choice to me. Like, I always wanted to do this and then, like, make this my life, which
Yeah.
is very weird if you think about it. I
Yeah.
don't know how this can happen to some folks because you also mentioned that there was something very interesting that you started talking about at the very beginning. It was like, yeah, like this is something very sciency and then something
Mhm.
nice, beautiful, fascinating. But there are like so many other things that are like even more sciency than this. For example, biotechnology. I remember like this was one of those disciplines in Tehran that you could get a straight PhD for after your bachelor. Like that was like that type of like super sciencey or like a stuff like that.
Oh.
So I mean, you had like a lot. We had a lot of choices to make when we were young for like this like technological based majors. But I mean, astronomy of course was not among these choices at the very beginning. But
Mm.
there's so many things that are super sciencey. Like for example, how you did not connect at the same level to some other stuff which were way more hot back then, like particle physics, for example. I remember we were hearing about CERN all the time when we were much younger, like 10 years back. But then you didn't connect to that one. You were just in this story that, oh yeah, like astronomy is the thing for me. I believe like there should have been something, like an element in your subconscious that you had this thing that, oh yeah, like this is the thing for me. Either it was like, I don't know, comic books or
Mhm.
I don't know, like connecting to a sky somehow in a way that which is not common to people. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, that's something like that. And also, I felt that astronomy was closer to me, to my experience at the time, than was something like particle physics. You know, I, yeah, of course, I heard about all the particle physics stuff, which, as you said, it was very big, but also something very far away from me, something that I really don't have no idea what's happening in there. I don't understand. While astronomy is something that, in some ways was closer to me, like, yeah, I see the sky every day. So it's something, maybe, hard physics was for myself at the time too sciencey. So
Ah,
too far away from the person
it
that
was
I
too
was
abstract.
at the time. Because may recall you that I had zero
Right,
scientific background at the time. So yeah.
right.
So probably
Hmm.
astronomy was closer to what was my life experience at the time. So
It's
overlapped.
true. Yeah, I can argue that it's more tangible compared to a lot
Yes.
of abstract stuff in physics. Because the first 4 years of physics that we had, although like I did lab sciences as well, inherently it's way more abstract. You're correct. Right. So like astronomy is something in the middle. Like you have all the science, but then at the same time, everything exists over there. I remember when I shifted from theoretical physics and computational theoretical physics to observational astronomy. One of my friends who was doing the Gaia data analysis, he just told me that, oh, welcome to reality. So there's a little bit of truth in that, right? This is true. Okay. So if you want to just briefly describe that, how did you become an astronomer when you started identifying yourself as an astronomer? Where was the beginning of that? And how did it happen to you? When did you start feeling comfortable calling yourself an astronomer?
Mm, Probably at the start of my PhD.
Okay.
Like, of course, maybe the very first months of my PhD, I I wasn't that confident about calling
Right.
myself an astronomer. But now thinking back, yeah, I started being an astronomer when I started my PhD, which is when I started actively doing research.
Right.
Okay, to be fair, in principle, I started it in my master thesis.
Right.
Okay, but when I started my PhD, doing science research became my the first thing of my working life.
Right.
My first duty and my first, say, responsibility to carry on. So yeah, and then it's when I started getting paid for doing research. So
Right.
that's also uh,
That's a huge step, right? When
yes,
you start,
yeah,
yeah, like when astronomy gives a life to you, that you can sustain it. I believe
yeah,
like that is the first step that you're like, okay, I'm actually paid for this. It's not
yeah,
just
yeah.
my passion.
The fact that I can make a living out of studying stars,
Right.
it's crazy.
No, it's absolutely crazy, right? Like whenever we're talking about permanent positions, etc., that this is not a stable job or we're suffering from job insecurity, I always say that, okay, yeah, because it doesn't have any social applications. So like, why should anyone pay you for looking up there and then looking beyond?
Mm,
Because I
yeah,
mean, you're not contributing anything to the society, right? This doesn't have any type of applications. At the same time, if you're going with that, then like none of the arts should be making money as well.
yeah,
While entertainment industry is a huge industry, right? It doesn't have any real contribution to the lives of people, but we need it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we are like curious creatures, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe that every field of research is important, even if it doesn't have, like direct implication on society, because every discovery that you can make, and discovery for the whole human history came from facing and trying to resolve a problem.
Right,
Whatever problem it is, you may end up with a solution and with discovering something. And then maybe what you discovered became important and relevant for other fields decades or centuries later.
right.
Like, for example, the improvement brought by astronomy in image analyzing, maybe
Of
also in
course, yes.
X-ray, were also useful to medicine, for example.
Right,
But of course, people that improved the image quality, let's say, of their astronomical observations, didn't thought at all about medicine. They say, yeah, I want to
no,
see this thing better, this
right.
blurry, weird thing. So yeah, at the end of the day, any excuse that we have to address new questions can be an opportunity for.
This is a very good point because we're also pushing the boundaries of instrumentation.
Yes,
Like, I mean, by building telescopes, like CCDs, for example, became common because of astronomy. Then
yes,
like we have like way more influential stuff like data handling in CERN became the WWW. It became the World Wide Web, right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
no
yeah,
one was like talking about it, but then like it became the internet just because they wanted to do data analysis. Also, we're now pushing the boundaries for data analysis with some facilities like Roman or LSST or like a stuff like that.
yes,
So yeah, unconsciously we're we're
yeah, yeah, yeah,
contributing to the society, but it's not direct. Like we're not doing any of the job. Like engineers and then like all other people are getting inspired by what we're doing. But I think we are kind of like detached from reality. Like we're
yeah, yeah, a little
in
bit,
our
yes,
bubble, right? In a way, like we care about problems that people don't feel the need to solve. Like we're problem
yes,
solver in a very abstract space, let's say.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's
So yeah, I
accurate.
mean, who cares? Yeah, like I mean, when Einstein was developing the theory of general relativity, he wasn't thinking about Google Maps.
Yes, That's a
but it
very good
just happened.
example. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Or or quantum physics. No one was thinking about quantum computers, but they're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be the next step for computational
That was
physics or like whatever, right?
that was arguably even more abstract than what we do.
Oh yeah,
You
way
know,
more.
general relativity more than 100 years ago. It's like
Right.
who was thinking about that, you know?
No one was even understanding that as stuff. Astronomy, I would argue plenty of people understand what we're doing, at least. You can communicate results on the spot. But then general relativity, the moment when it was developed, I think two or three people maximum could read the papers and understand what was happening there. It was
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It was a very different thing. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, okay. No, nice. Okay, so how does it feel to be an astronomer on daily basis?
It feel
In a
good.
normal day, when you're not dying because of deadlines and you're not exhausted, you're not frustrated over the results and then the life situation, etc. In a normal day, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I enjoy the life as an astronomer. It's a kind of job that I think works well with me in how I like to organize my work because it gives me a very nice balance between being independent and working with autonomy, but also interacting with people. So I don't have, any strict day-to-day time of works, you know,
Right. It's very
start and
flexible,
end
right?
of work, which is something that really is really good when you try to match it with living a life. Uh,
Right.
and then the work itself, yeah, it's something that I enjoy. Like astronomical research is something that I found to be really cool. And then, as I said before, it's amazing to be paid for to study stars. So yeah, my overall feeling as an astronomer is very positive.
Mhm.
On a negative side, I have to say that it may lead you to a very uncertain life, especially
Right.
regarding your future.
Right.
Sometimes even your nearby future, very
Right.
nearby, which
Yeah, right.
is
It's not like even like
something.
5 years or a decade away. It's like next year.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
always
yeah.
about next year or like 2 years from now.
So probably that's the biggest downside, which
Right.
okay, it can also be an opportunity because
Right.
it's a work when you can move a lot during your life. I mean,
Right.
I am the exception to that, but
But we don't know. Like maybe next year you're in China.
yeah, yeah, but it's gonna happen to
You
me
never know. Or in
100%.
Chile
Yeah,
or
yeah.
somewhere else, right?
I already know that next year I won't be here in Padua anymore. So yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna move very likely abroad Italy. And so yeah, that's also something that depends on you. Can be a very cool thing in your life or a limitation.
Right.
Depends on how stable do you want to be in your life.
So you think it was worth it to pursue this degree and become
Yes.
an astronomer?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm doing a
Absolutely.
job that I like, which is
Right. It's
awesome.
a great privilege, right?
Yeah.
Many people end up in dead-end jobs or 9 to 5s and they want to kill
Yes.
themselves.
Yeah.
Most probably like I should be editing this.
Yeah,
But yeah.
and it's not a boring job. Maybe
No, it's not. You have
maybe you have
something
a
to look
boring week,
forward to every
okay,
day.
but on the long term, um, it's a job that can evolve a lot. You can deal with different things, so that's
Right.
very important to me. So
Right.
yeah, I'm
So
happy
true.
what I'm doing.
Do you think this was a blessing for you? You made a very uncertain choice at early ages in your life,
Mhm.
but so you're standing with your choice. You think like you made a very good choice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm happy where I am right now. Maybe if I did different choices, could have been even in a better situation. Who knows? I can't control that. But
Right.
yeah, the overall, I'm satisfied with the overall results up to now. So I can't say that was the best choice that I could do in my life, but it was
Right.
one that I don't regret.
But did you consider anything else besides this one?
Yeah,
Because I think you were just
absolutely.
very focused on astronomy from the very beginning, right? Or no, like it was like, okay, I have five options, and then like this one was something that you could connect to better compared to
Mhm.
your other options.
Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure
Mhm.
about the astronomy stuff because, as I said, it was something very far away from my background and my knowledge. Um, so I thought about other stuff, probably studying economy or something like that would have been something closer to what was my background at the time.
All right.
So that option was also on the table. And at the end of my first year of astronomy, I was very close to quit.
Okay.
I said, yeah, I did an exam. Say, okay,
Yeah.
if I'm not gonna pass this exam again, I will quit. And then I passed it, and then I'm still.
Yeah. It was as easy as that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. And
yeah.
yeah, of course, I always try to have plan B or plan C in life. Also getting into the PhD
Right.
was far from being an easy task.
Right.
Probability of not getting a PhD was not negligible.
No, right.
And so yeah, I say, okay, if I don't get the PhD, I just have a look for a job in the real
True.
world.
Right. After your master's.
And I have to be honest, it's also something that I'm feeling right now. Is if I'm not able to get a position in the nearby future, which could be happening because
Right.
it's
Can happen to
stabilized.
anyone, right?
Yes, of course, I'll consider also having a look to other career path. But of course, I'm
No,
doing
right.
my best to stay inside astronomy because
Right.
that's what I enjoy, what I'm being, I think, quite good at in the past years.
Right. No, I mean, from what I've seen, like you're doing great. So,
Yes.
yeah, I don't see you quitting like anytime soon. But at the same time, I mean, you had a difficult bachelor, but did you also struggle during your PhD? Because PhD is a very difficult phase for most astronomers, astrophysicists. It's the very first time that you're doing hardcore research. I mean, you started your business, let's say, in the middle of your master's. For many
Yeah.
folks, this is not the same thing. They start doing real research from their PhD, so this is why it's so difficult. But did you have some type of struggles that do you want to share them or?
Mm. My PhD went relatively smooth
All right.
because uh, I think I'm much better. Sorry, I have to plug my laptop.
No, no, don't worry.
Give me a second then. Because my battery
Yeah, no, no
was
worries.
dying. So yeah, for what I understood about myself, I'm much better at working than at studying.
All right.
And so PhD, which was mainly working for me,
All right.
was something that was better suited for me.
Oh,
So
okay.
my PhD went quite good. Also, I have to say that an important variable on what your PhD will be is who are you working with. I was
Right.
lucky enough to work with wonderful people that gave me a lot of
Mhm.
opportunities,
Right.
gave me space. They didn't
Mhm.
micromanage me, but they also were present if needed. So
Right.
they made my PhD very easy. But of course, you have to put a lot of effort.
No, true. Right.
I
But they say
worked a lot.
mentors are very important during your
Yes, yeah, yeah,
PhD.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the PhD level is one of if not maybe the most important
Right.
thing about, yeah, yeah.
You just always like build your career on top of your PhD, like the way that it goes. Like some people never recover from it if they have a bad PhD. Like it's
Yeah,
impossible to get a postdoc. Like even after one or two postdocs, if you had a bad PhD, I think it follows you because
yes.
that's like where you're building the infrastructure. So if the infrastructure
Mhm.
doesn't look good, then you're gonna continuously struggle, right? And it's very difficult to compensate for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so last question. How do you see yourself in the future in this field? Not like how you're planning for it, because you also said that, okay, you're looking for other options in the industry, etc. But then if there is a future for you, where do you see yourself standing?
Okay. I ideally see myself, um, being a full-time researcher for basically the rest of my life.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'd like to see myself maybe as a future leader of a research group,
Wow.
maybe with some grants, some money
Mm.
to pay good salary to my coworkers.
Right. So you want to hire students with a grant?
In my future, yeah, I will.
You want to have your own team or
Yeah,
be a
if I get the
researcher, have your
opportunity
own
to
team.
have, yeah, if I get the
Mhm.
opportunity to get my grants, maybe even becoming professor. It's some maybe I have you to decide yet if I would enjoy to be a professor, but I think yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe having collaborators, maybe students, PhDs, when I'm more expert in
Right.
this field, and maybe also in some ways give back all the opportunities that were given to me.
That's wonderful.
Thanks.
That's a wonderful wish upon people. This is why mentors are very important. I think
Yes.
you always give back what you've received.
Yes, yes.
This is really important. Yeah, right.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm done with my questions. Do you think we've missed out on anything? Do you want to add something? Any further comments?
Mm, no, nothing comes to my mind at the moment. I think we pretty much said everything about my view on astronomy and my
Your
my
experiences.
experience in my experience, yes. So
Right. No, this was a great conversation. Thank you so much
yes,
for your time.
thank you. It was a wonderful time.